And there we are. We are live. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Let's Heal podcast. I am Tyrell, and today we have our co-host Tia Russell back joining us. And we also have a special guest, Kayla Perry. So everybody stay where you are, and we will be right back with the show. All right, y'all. We are back with the show. Like I said before, I am Tyrell. This is the Let's Heal podcast. I'm not ignoring everybody. I'm trying to share the show to give me some viewers. So if you are watching, please hit that like and share button and make sure that you let everybody know that you are tuning into the Let's Heal podcast today. Today we are talking about self-discovery and freedom. And like I said before, our special guest is recording artist Kayla Perry. He's a good friend of mine. I have definitely been watching him for some time. But before we get to that, Tia, how have you been? How was your week, your weekend? And since the last time you've been on the show, how have you been?
Good. We've been working and creating and, getting things done and ready for our first children's book launch. So that's coming up soon. We're almost done with the illustrations, so we're super excited about that. And then we're doing kind of our first big expo on Sunday, Father's Day.
I saw that, yeah.
Yep. We're doing the Children's Book Expo in Chicago, and they've been doing multiple cities, so it's pretty big. So we're excited about that. That's our first big event and big show. So you can still see all of our stuff behind us. So here, over there, definitely. Our journals, coloring books. So as always, check us out, Ties That Mind Publishing.
And if you, because you have, I saw that you were doing, is it free face painting for the first 50 kids?
60 kids, yeah.
Or 60 kids?
To the show. Yep.
I did see that too. So if you all are in the Chicago area, please check out Tia and the publishing company and the book. What's the name of the book that you are releasing?
So the name of the book is Bravo, the Brave Butterfly. So that one, we're still finishing up the illustrations for that. But the event, the Children's Book Expo, it's called Coast to Coast Children's Expo. And the event is free. So they can go to Eventbrite and get tickets, and it doesn't cost anything. So come out, get your kitties some literature, all those good things, and then we'll be there with our coloring book here, Living Color, which is a positive affirmations coloring book for kids. Right. So, we'll be doing all that.
And you can order those online, right? Because I need to order a couple of those and send them to my nieces and nephews.
Yes, you can. Definitely. Amazon.com. If you put my name in Latia Russell, Latia Russell, the T is capital. The T is capitalized. That is important. Then you will see all of our things. But definitely Living Color is up there. So go get them.
Awesome.
Yo, kitty, some affirmations coloring books.
Definitely. We got to get those kids to get their minds positive at this point in time.
Definitely.
So, Caleb.
What's up?
How have you been, everybody? This is Caleb Perry. He is an amazing recording artist, and I love his energy when I watch his videos and things like that. So I'll let you introduce yourself. I'll let you do that. So tell everybody who you are.
Hey guys, I am a Christian artist. I've been singing for years, just officially the past few. What can I say about myself? I love God. I'm goofy, but I'm real. I believe in the reality and where God fits in that. So yeah, I'm just me.
Right. Which is why I chose to have him on today for the self-discovery and freedom, because it is Pride Month, and with him being a gospel artist and living his life, and like he said, he's just real. Y'all know over here at Let's Heal, we don't do nothing but real over here. So tell everybody, where did this all start from? Like, where did your journey into gospel singing? I mean, I'm sure you probably knew that you wanted to sing, but how did you go into gospel singing?
So I've always loved gospel singing.
Okay.
I've always had a high voice and a strong high voice. So the most R&B singers, they're not wailing. They may have a high voice, but they're not wailing. They're not exhorting the way that I like to, or the way that I can. So, I would listen to the Whitney Houstons, she did it. Mariah Carey, she would go back and forth with it. But like Karen Clark Sheard, like those types of singers, I've always loved the sound of that. So I've honestly, legit, since I've been a kid and have been able to play, like my playing style was, I'm pretending I'm on a tour.
Okay.
So I would pull out a map and say, I have to go here and sing this. And then I have to fly all the way over here and video shoot for these 2 songs.
Yeah.
I don't have time to do the second one because I have to be like, that's literally what I would do as a child. So that's just where my heart and my...
Yeah, it's basically been dreaming big, and you were already a celebrity in your mind anyway.
Oh yeah,
the tour and everything that go with it. So here we are manifesting this tour and this world being seen by Kayla Perry. So.
I know that's right. Yeah, I can't get away from it. Can't get away from it.
Definitely. So tell us what the experience was like when you I guess first broke out into it. Like, a lot of people may want to sing. Like, I know I can't sing for real, but if you roll the windows up real tight and you close all the windows in the house, I sound like Tank.
Right.
Look, or a shower, give me some good acoustics.
Right.
And the lip gets a quivering.
Exactly. Like, you can tell me that I don't have a whole stadium full of people listening to my voice, and I'm the person in the room with the water turned up real high. So
pretty much, basically, that's how it started for me. And I'm not the best singer in my family, so it wasn't necessarily a thing where everyone else paid attention to it. I'm actually a better dancer and actor. Those are my God-given talents. The singing took work. That took work. Oh my. It took some work. But that's what I always did. That was my heart, singing. So I would just go around the house, at that time screaming. I won't even call it singing.
Right.
It was screaming. That's okay.
It was a fine tuning.
Yeah, exactly. It was that season to figure it all out. Yeah. And of course, with my voice being so different from other males, it was a thing of, okay, this is my voice though.
Yeah.
So developing that, figuring all of that out. It was, singing in the shower, singing where there are acoustics where I can hear myself.
Right.
And then I found out a beautiful invention called the tape recorder and the microphone. So transition to that. And then computers, of course, with software where you can record yourself and listen back. And I remember what I was doing with my voice when I did this, and that doesn't sound good. So don't do that.
Yeah.
Do this.
Yeah.
Things like that. I had to teach myself. So that's how it started for me.
So emotionally, what were you going through during those times? You know what I'm saying? Like what helped you discover you? You know what I'm saying? What were you going through emotionally while you were trying to figure out? Like you said, you sang a certain way. You're more of a singer and a dancer, or an actor and a dancer than a singer. Like, what kind of because a lot of times that will discourage somebody from doing that particular thing? You know what I'm saying? Like, did you ever feel discouraged at some point? Did you ever want to say, I don't want to do this? Because there were some points in my life where I'm like, I feel like my dream has given up on me. Let me step away from it.
Right. So for me, of course, definitely I've had those moments of discouragement and questions. Should I pursue it? It's never been a question, do I want to? I know I want to. That's not going anywhere.
Right.
The question is, should I? I've gone through that. And at that point, when I was starting out, the questions were more so, okay, the approach. What should my approach be?
Yeah.
Knowing that, I have a higher voice for a male, and even my technique, my style of singing is more, if you ask people that pay attention to it, it's more female, it's more feminine.
Right.
My technique. So the question, emotionally, it was, pause yourself. I don't want to say, like, I wasn't freaking out. I wasn't depressed. I wasn't, I didn't feel any angst or anything like that. I've always been self-aware. So my thing is, I know that everything's not in place. Pause.
Okay.
So, let's look at what I want the goal to be.
Right.
What are options to get to that?
Exactly.
And I go forward with that. Oftentimes, I don't, with discouragement and things like that, like I said, I've had those moments, but it's more so based on things about myself.
Mm-hmm.
For example, like, am I committed to the social aspect of being an artist?
Right.
Because the other half of me, I'm not so outgoing. People don't believe me when I say that, but
right, yeah.
I'm really not. If you put me in a room as a kid, if you put me in a room with my little toys, I'm good. I don't need nothing else. Leave me alone.
Right.
So the discouragement piece would be, okay, do I want to deal with that? Do I want to deal with smiling when I don't? I genuinely just don't smile. Things like that. In regards to discouragement with my voice, it was more so, how do I sustain? More so, it was, everything was internal. I didn't really battle with, will the world like my voice? How should I sing and present to the world? I never really had that.
Right.
I was going to ask you too, Caleb, because I know you were saying just the style of your voice and being a gospel artist, right? Like, did you know from the very beginning that is the genre that you wanted to be in?
Always knew that I wanted to do gospel. Now, when I first came out officially in regards to music, I didn't begin in gospel, and that was more so based on instruction. It was still a learning process for me. So God was taking me through a season of learning how to write where it can fit for everyone, for Christians, for those that don't believe, because the message is love.
Right.
If you ask any Christian, we always say that that's what we're talking about, but is it really? And so that's, I was in a realm of, and I still do it, honestly, where the song, you literally don't know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Are you talking to God? Are you singing to your husband? Are you singing to your mom? So most of my songs, honestly, are they're written in a place where it's meant for three different people. Honestly, my mother, my husband, and God. The majority of them. So that was there are a few songs, where, okay, I make it obvious, Jesus, God, things like that, especially with this upcoming album. But that the start of me officially doing music my way. I don't want to say it was gospel. It wasn't gospel. It wasn't R&B. It wasn't anything. It was just, we're talking about love. That's it. And when you get that song, you do with it what you need at that point.
Right.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And I think that, like you said, that should be the general message. Like you should be singing, you should be talking, you should be exuding love and not the judgment. And like you mentioned, your husband. We're just gonna jump right into that. You know, I was like, we're not gonna speed past that. So,
Right.
How was that being a gospel artist? Of course, being in the church, because you know, and the world knows how. I'm gonna go here with this today, y'all. Y'all know,
come on.
Well, let's hear. We ruffle feathers over here. So
yeah, we all know
the hypocritical,
Judgmental.
religious, right, people that they are. How have you, and if you have, how did you deal with the side eyes, the negative remarks, the things that they may not have directly said to you? Like they enjoy your music, they enjoyed the love, they enjoyed the message, and then that one aspect of your happiness turned them into something totally different. How did you deal with that? And if you ever encountered it, and have you ever encountered it? And if so, how did you deal with it?
So I've never had to encounter it directly.
Okay.
And I think that's just, that's a spirit thing. That just who I attract or who God brings up in my path. Right. And then also, the spirit of my message, and what I believe every Christian's message should be. I mean, Jesus said, "Go out and love others as you love yourself." That was it.
Right.
He didn't tell me. And I know I'm gonna ruffle some feathers.
Come on. That's what Let's Heal is about. We are real over here.
Jesus himself, the one that walked, did not say, "I need to be telling you how to live." Mm-hmm. My only instruction specifically from him, and we know the Bible was written by many different authors.
Right.
He told me to simply tell people the good news, which was he came.
Yeah.
And then he died and rose again. That's it. That's
yeah.
If I do that, I've accomplished what God told me. Right. And so for my whole thing is I simply want people to see what living in love with God is like. That's it.
Right.
What you do with it is what you do with it, because I'm not giving you grace. I'm not giving you mercy. And I can't dictate where that lands for you.
Right.
What you may be able to do, and God says, you know what? I got you. I understand. All right. You can't do that.
Right.
But here, I got you. I can't determine that.
Yeah.
I can't change God's mind about that. And it's not for me to even consider. And I don't want to sound so rude, but quite frankly, I don't care.
Right.
I have my own areas where I need to focus, and okay, this place is a struggle for me, and God told me not to do that. So I need to focus on, okay, let me get myself together there.
Exactly.
That's where I am. That's my heart. That's where I think. God loves us all, and all of us for different reasons. Mm-hmm. It's not for me to dictate that, try to manipulate or control that.
Right.
That's awesome. Have you always been able to be your true authentic self, or do you feel like you've always been able to be your true authentic self? Or were there times where you were kind of like, well, I know who I am, and I don't necessarily, and I think like my family, the world perhaps may know who I am, but we haven't had that conversation, right? Like where those two worlds meet.
Gotcha. So I've always been in spaces where I have been able to be myself. Did I take advantage of it? No, not always. Mm-hmm. And for me, I'm always thinking about my impact on others.
Mm. Right.
So, and not to say that this is me. Okay, let me take someone else. God may not have an issue with you, Tia, smoking, drinking, doing all of those things. let's not make it. Let's put it in Bible. David, he slept around with everybody and everything he wanted to.
Yeah.
But he still had the heart of God. That's what we know him for. Because that was his assignment. He had assignments. And so my thing is, I don't want what I can do to impact others. And so I didn't always take advantage of, I can be myself in this space. Granted, there have been spaces that I found myself in where, no, I shouldn't. I could.
Yeah.
Could and shouldn't. That's two
Yeah.
totally different things. And so I'm always thinking about the should. But I've always been in a space where I could, if I wanted to. It's always been an understood type of thing. But let's say, like with my family, it's not a question. And, maybe that, I'm sure that's a part of the reason why I think the way I think in regards to God. We grew up saying, hey, that's their struggle. Great. Okay. And
Yeah.
you're not about to check them. And
Yeah. Yeah.
we reference like, I don't care. We're there for each other, that type of thing. So I genuinely, I've adopted that, and I learned that from my mom. I learned that from my mom. That's one of the biggest lessons that I learned from her. And so there was never that whole, how do these two worlds meet? It's not two worlds.
It's Caleb. This is Caleb. This is all a part of Caleb.
It's freedom.
Exactly.
In regards to sexuality, I think that's where a lot of people are disconnected in regards to each side. Being gay, being this doesn't mean that you're not human. And we forget that.
Right.
We forget that. Our brains all still work the same.
Yep.
Our bodies heal the same. Our bodies hurt the same. Our bodies go through these differences. All of it is the same. It's just, if you like pizza, what do you like on your pizza? You like pepperoni. I only like cheese. Does that mean, now you're a pizza like that?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It has nothing to do with anything. So that's how.
Exactly. And I think that a lot of people miss that lesson of love, because if you're talking about love is the common factor. Like if you love something or somebody, no matter how you love them, the common emotion is love. That's it. Let it go. So you don't know the details of, well, why do you love this person? And who is this person that you love? Why can't I just love this person? Well, first of all, why can't I just love myself enough to be okay to love them?
Love them.
So, right.
I think people really, for us, like for human beings to make sense of the world, right? Or at least in a way that we can kind of conceptualize and have conversations about it, we have to put labels on things.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have a label on something, it all seems just way too ambiguous, and our minds can't conceptualize that, right? So if you think about it, literally everything has a category.
Right.
Everything has a label. We, from down to your sports teams, like all of these different things, we can get into knockout, drag outs about, right? So from sexuality down to, like you said, the type of pizza toppings you like. It's like pineapple don't go on pizza. Don't tell me pineapple don't go on pizza, because I like a Hawaiian pizza.
Exactly.
And, right? Like, oh, you're this type of person, or you don't eat pork. Why don't you eat pork? Like all of these things.
Right.
But I think it's just kind of how the human brain works. Like we can't fathom a world of nothing having a label, right? Or how will we converse about those things if we could not put things into boxes?
Right.
But sometimes, I mean, truthfully, all the time though, like you have to kind of kick the box.
Yeah.
Because they're truly, in the spirit of competition or in the spirit of whatever, like whatever that looks like. Some things, okay, it's funny, it's cute. But then I think we haven't figured out what's okay to go down that realm, and other things where we're kind of like this doesn't fit over there, right? But we haven't figured that out, and I think we've seen it since the beginning of time. You know, people right down to slavery, right? Like just that basic concept of owning a human being, and we're still having conversations about that where we're like, well, you tell people, or people like, well, that's just how it was. You're like, so you didn't find no problems with owning a human,
right?
You know, like, and so, but you find an issue with how someone chooses to love, or who someone chooses to love.
That's
right.
We got a question. We got a question before we go on. So, Jazzy K Ward, hey Jazzy, how are you? And Arwayne Woodson is here too. Hey Arwayne, he said, "What do you do when the world is not ready for your sound?"
So I think approaching it, you have to know what you're going in this for. Honestly, okay, let's take spirituality out of it. Let's take all of those things out. If you're doing music, you have to understand what you're doing it for.
Right.
If you want the fame, if you want, the big audiences, and like I was saying, the touring and all of these things, you have to make adjustments of what's there. Now, when you're throwing in missions, and like for me personally, I always tell my husband, and I tell everyone that I speak with in regards to my music, if one person can come back and say, your music literally changed my life, I don't have to make another song.
Exactly.
If another song doesn't come to me, if I don't release nothing, I've done my job.
Right.
I'm not here for the fame. I'm not here to make money from it. I'm not doing any of that. So in regards to dealing with the world and your sound, you have to analyze, why are you doing this? Are you doing this for the recognition of the world? Because if that's the case, then no, you can't fight the world. That's not
exactly.
And even with artists, I know the narrative is always, they came out of nowhere. They created a whole new genre. That is a false narrative.
Right.
They weren't the first, I guarantee you. And they had an entire team, and I'm pretty sure most of us know now that what we're given is controlled.
Mm-hmm.
The industry is controlled by a set amount of people, and they say, now we're ready for you to have this and like this, and this is the thing here.
Right.
That's the music industry. So don't approach the music in regard. Well, you can just understand, if you're approaching it for the fame, understand you're playing their game at that point.
Right.
So play their game.
Right. I would say play their game in order to be able to call your own shots. And I think about all artists. All artists do that. And I think about Pink, her story. Pink, she's perfect. Like, I love Pink, the Pink that she is. Like, her music was amazing when she first came out, but it was something about her liberating herself, playing their game, and taking enough power so that she can call the shots now. Like, it's something different and more genuine about a person when they've played the game long enough to now call the shots. And that's basically what, it is in that, and especially in the music industry. It's like, if you don't know how to play the game and be strategic about placing things and people in a place where when the tables start turning and you start calling the shots, it's like you said, what are you doing it for? Like, are you doing it for the fame? Because if you're doing it for the fame, you're going to be like TLC and broke. If you're doing it for the money, you're going to be unbooked and unbusy because you did it for the money, and now nobody want to hear from you because you got a nasty attitude. So what are you doing? Like you said, what are you doing it for? It's all a part of your legacy. I always tell people, live in your legacy no matter what you're doing. So,
and I don't want anyone to think that going into the music industry for that reason is wrong. If that's your goal, go for your goal. Just have an understanding,
Right. Understand it.
full understanding of what you
Understand
have to
it.
do.
Yeah.
Or when we're talking about self-discovery and freedom, right? Like, what's your why? And that you're gonna figure that out, or that you're gonna hear that across every genre that you come across. It's something that I'm constantly asked when I'm writing and creating content. Even transitioning into some coaching, people ask you like, "What's your why?" Right? Because if you don't understand your why, then you don't know who your avatar is. If you don't know who your avatar is, then you don't know who you're creating for. And it's
Right.
just kind of this trickle down effect. So, at the core of it, you have to figure out your why.
Right. Yep. So we have a comment here. Arwen Woodson said the issue is that so many people don't understand the game or do not want to pay their dues. A bad reputation is hard to come back from. Very, very true.
See?
I.e., what's going on right now with Monique? Like, she's fighting hard to come back from a bad reputation or a bad word, because we really don't know what went on. But the certain people said a certain word, and now she's trying to come back from it. But then, right when she started digging herself out of the hole, she go and ruffle everybody's feathers again. And now we're like, girl, come back in there, because you ain't learned your lessons yet. So, yeah, a bad reputation is hard to come back from. People will, you could do 100 good things, do that one wrong thing to piss somebody off. That's what they're gonna remember you from.
Well, that's another thing.
Yeah, Jazzy, what does music heal you from?
That's who we are. But that's another thing. Like you said, one wrong thing. First and foremost, I'll answer that question. But you have to understand that media is who likes you and who knows you. That's it. That's where that stops. Okay, you can be talented. Okay, great. That's that's your talent is actually the cherry on top.
Right.
And that sounds so backwards, but that's what the music industry, that's what media is. It's the actual cake, the actual substance of whatever you're eating is actually who knows you and who likes you.
Yeah, yeah. And that's the harsh reality, because you try so hard to be authentic and not have to play that game. Right. But you find yourself having to play that game in order for people to see the authentic you.
Right.
And it's like, how do I remain myself without you got to sometimes grin and bear it long as you can. And when you see that slight chance of opportunity of getting out so people can see who you really are, the charity events, the conversations, the stuff like this that shows that, this person is not too good to talk to this person, or this person is not too good to, but then I also feel like, even as an artist, I always tell people, you always have to remember that these artists are also people. Right. You ask and you take and you take and you take and you take from an artist. And if one time they say that they don't want to sign your autograph because they just had a long day,
it's a problem.
Then I can't stand him. But how do you know that this human being has not had a bad day today, and they're not going to seclude themselves? They want to go and have some food, and because you saw them, they don't want to sign now you're pissed off and you hate everything that they do.
Right.
Not, they're human, they had a bad day today.
And that goes back to the whole love piece, and just simply understanding or forgetting that we're all human.
Yeah.
There may be categories that lie under that, like Tia said, definitely, but that does not. Those categories don't subdue the simple fact that we're all human.
Yeah, definitely.
They just don't.
Definitely. So Jazzy K. Ward said, what does music heal you from?
Everything.
Yeah.
Oh my God, everything. When I've had a bad day, when I'm ready to flip and cuss somebody out, just honestly, for me, music and water is my peace.
I got my aloe water over here today. So.
I can stay in the shower all day. Like from the moment I wake up to the moment I sleep. Like I love water like that. It's so calming and it's peaceful. But music, it heals me from myself.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, that's everything. I mean, any experience that you have, your feelings, that's an internal thing. Your responses to whatever's going on, that's an internal thing. So everything is technically eternal, internal. Excuse me, not eternal. That's a whole nother other. That's a whole nother other. But music helps me heal from me. So whether it's okay, let me check myself, or let me hear what this person is saying with their lyrics and understand that there's a whole different scope of thinking, thought processes that may not align with me, but it's a real thing. Oh, okay. So for example, like SZA, she has some songs that I'm like,
yeah. Why are you in my head? Like, get out of my head and get out of my emotions. Get away from my feelings with this song.
I'm the complete opposite with her. So, like, what is it? I don't even really listen to her. Not that I don't like her. She's an amazing talent. But like, what is it? The Weeknd?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to, like, that whole mentality is not for me.
Right.
But being open to that is like, or exposed to it was like, oh, you know.
With her singing about that also gave people, she tapped into somebody's feelings and emotions for people who actually do that and understand that. Like me personally, I ain't with that. Like I hear the song, it's a great beat, and I understand that how she feels. I'm not with it personally, but there are a lot of people who are like, yeah, I just want you for the weekend.
Right. And here's my thing. I think it's so beautiful that they can have somebody speak for them.
Exactly.
Even though I don't, it doesn't represent me. It's not for me.
Right.
If my husband's on the line, you already know we don't get down like that. We don't do that. But for me, it's just the beauty of the scope of what people think about relationships or desires or just perspectives. For me, I absolutely find it intriguing to find all of these thought processes. It's like, wow, really?
Yeah.
Like, really how you feel? That's so interesting. Like, wow, okay. I wouldn't have even crossed my mind.
Yeah.
Okay.
Music is emotional. Music is extremely emotional, especially when you get some good music. My favorite artist is Rochelle Farrell, and she is always on point with my emotions. Like she's always tugging at emotions that almost make you want to cry, but almost beat yourself up because you shouldn't be going through this shit in the first place. But it's like, okay, I hear you.
You're going through it. Hey, it is what it is.
Caleb, what inspires you to, I mean, beside the obvious, right? You said you love God, and so that's at the center of everything. But what, where do you drive your other inspiration from to write your songs?
Yes, she is Arwen Woodson.
For me, I know, right? I'm reading the comments too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
For me, thus far, I'll say thus far, my biggest inspiration, God. Outside of God, my biggest inspiration is another internal thing. I have had a great experience with love.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, again, in many different realms. That's with my partner, that's through my mom, that's with my siblings, that's with my grandparents, that's with God. And not to say that, everything been sweet, everything been cool, we've been good, like, ain't nothing happened. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is I've had the great experience of, I love this person. Some people I've had to step away from. But even that experience was absolutely amazing because I know exactly what I learned from them. That's my inspiration.
Yeah.
I'll sit and think about an aspect and I'll say, okay, but what about the love? Where's the love in it? Where's the love in it? So one of the first songs that I halfway released was called Beautiful Goodbye. And it started off, you may not, I don't know if you can even find this online. I don't know if it's still up or anything, but it started off with, they played me. They played me. Okay, and you get in your feelings, and then just reflecting, being a reflector. I sat back and said, okay, but I ended it, and being able to say, no, that's not good enough for me. How you treated me is not good enough for me. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing. So it was a beautiful goodbye.
Yeah.
That did help with the bitterness once, my mind shifted over. It helped a lot because, okay, great. Now I know my value beyond what I did the day before. I know that this is how I want to be treated. This is how I deserve to be treated. So thank you so much for showing me that.
Right.
That's so important because a lot of people don't know their own self-worth and value, right? And we seek that and confirmation from other people. And when we don't get it, we feel so let down and kind of lost. Like, well, now I don't know what to do, but you have to navigate your own path. And when we stop putting our stock in other people for a return, then you will be so much better off, right? Like you're investing in yourself. You're not investing in somebody else to give you a return. And I think once people kind of figure out how to get there, then like we'll be so dope.
Yeah, because your peace and happiness is your responsibility, though. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people need to understand that first. You can't go asking somebody to love you if you don't love yourself. You can't ask somebody to be around you when you don't even enjoy your own company. So you have to love yourself first because that's your responsibility so that you can be able to identify when you are being treated wrong or you're not being loved the way that you deserve to be loved. You know what I'm saying? Because we all have that feeling as we grow, I want to be loved and I need to be loved like this. And it's like, but do you deserve that? And that's just the real of it.
Right. No, really.
You got to be real with yourself because I know plenty of people who act like peasants and feel like they should be treated like kings and queens. And it's like, you didn't even treat yourself like a king or a queen. So how do you expect somebody to come into your life and pick you up to that level when you're not even already there? Make that make sense.
Right. To me, it's very interesting. I think it's not necessarily a thing of learning. I think our emotions tell us that.
Yeah.
Our emotions tell us what we know we deserve, what we know we want.
It's that sixth sense.
We know. That's why if something goes wrong, we be in our little feelings.
Exactly.
Now, that's us saying that I don't like that. I want more. I want better. The thing I think we're also taught, suck it up. Don't deal with it. Don't claim it.
Right.
Don't claim the better.
Right.
For the more. Don't be humble. Be humble. I think people miss that message completely.
Yeah.
And they take it too far. Being humble does not mean saying that I know who I am.
Right.
I know that now I'm not proud with that, but I don't have pride, if that makes sense, in regards to I'm better than anyone.
Right.
I do know what I like. I do know what I want, and that ain't it. And don't know what to tell you. God bless.
Right. And be humble doesn't mean that you have to be a doormat.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like just because that whole turn the other cheek, I only got two cheeks, which means you get one time because I wasn't paying attention. Now the second time I see it coming, and if you hit me too hard, I'm gonna hit you back. So it's not gonna happen.
So here's the thing with that. I think that's a good little message for me. I interpret that, and the Bible does say it. Turn the other cheek. My thing is the only reason I would turn the other cheek is because I made the choice to stay in that place where they could.
Right.
So if I'm staying there, then turn the other cheek. I shouldn't stay and say, "Don't slap me. I know you're about to slap me."
Exactly.
So it's that thing. I understand. For me, my interpretation of that is if you're going to stay there, yes, be willing to turn the cheek as as often as you need to because you've made a decision to stay.
Yep.
I ain't gonna do that.
Mm-mm.
But God bless those that, decide to do that. Have it.
Right, who have that just enough spirit, right? So it's like that's just enough for me, and they're okay with that.
We ain't doing that over here. I mean, because I always tell people, "Fool me once, shame on you. You won't get a second chance. It won't happen again." And what about the second? No, it's not about me giving you a second chance. It's about me seeing you for who you are. Because I don't come into your life to tell you who you need to be.
Right.
I come into your life to learn who you are and see if you fit into my life. And if you don't fit, I don't wish any harm on you, any negativity, anything like that. But you just don't fit in my life. Like I got this whole long dinner table. You don't have a seat at this table. You might be able to sit at somebody else's table, but you can't sit at this one.
Right.
It was
because
nice
it makes sense to you doesn't mean it has to make sense to me.
Exactly.
And if it doesn't, right, I'm not going to rack my brain trying to figure it out if it's not for me to figure out.
Not at
right?
all.
Like, what's the definition of insanity? Is doing the same thing over and getting the same result, right? And if the result isn't desirable, then stop driving yourself insane. Do something different, right? Change it.
Right. If you want a different outcome, you got to do something different, Yeah. And if somebody's in your life and they're treating you wrong, or a situation, not even people, just a situation, like you have a lot of people who are in situations that they know are not for them. But there, that whole let me stick it out. You can only stick it out for so long because guess what? If you die today in that situation, time continues. Life keeps moving forward. People still keep moving around. So it's your job. Like I said before, your happiness is your responsibility. And no matter who or what the situation is with you, if it's not working for you, sometimes you got to talk about it, about you being unhappy. You close your mouth, you make some moves, and you change the situation. Because complaining about it ain't gonna do nothing. But we hear you, But what you doing about it? Because that's when I talk to my class, I'm always like, I hear everything you're talking about. Now tell me what actions you're taking. Because if you're not taking any actions, I'm just here to listen to you.
Right.
And that's all you're doing is talking. I'm more of a doer. What we gonna do?
But set out on the path of true self-discovery, right? And like what that means.
Yeah.
Because it can mean something different to everybody. And I think it kind of gives us right back to like trying to put each other in some sort of spot or a place or attach a something to it, right? But for me, if I want to be with some broke down, no good ASS person, if that's what the world sees, y'all may not see that. Yeah, he ain't got no job, but the house clean, and he cooked me dinner every night, and he rubbed my feet, and he like all these things. Like that's not my husband's ministry, but I just want to be clear about that.
Right. Don't get any ideas, sir.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, but people are so quick to try to attach, right? Yeah. But if what happens and what I've seen is when people are doing that, we're so focused on everybody else's picture or scope that we are not looking at our own. We're not doing our own self-discovery. And in turn, we're not really free from whatever it is that we need to be free of, or living free, whatever our truth is, right? Because we're so focused on figuring out what Tyrell got going on, or what Caleb and his husband got going on, or like all of these things. It's like, well, what do you got going on? And figure out how to live in your own truth and just wish happiness and well-being on everyone else and go on about your business.
Drink your water and mind your own bald-headed business. Like I tell everybody every day, drink your water and mind your own bald-headed business.
Yes.
And I think that's a vital part of the self-discovery journey, honestly. And that's where I am with my music. That's why I said, I'm not here to teach you how to live. God could do that 10 times better than, not even 10 times better. Like he got that. Right. My thing is, hey, I found it. I found that. I've been on that journey and I found it. And this is what it looks like.
Yeah.
Go for it.
It's self-discovery and freedom. Like today's podcast was all about self-discovery and freedom. Because when you find genuine happiness within yourself, that's what that freedom feels like. You may not have the most money in the world. You may not have what people have itemized as the best. I got a big bank account. I drive an amazing car. It's like you got all of this shit, but you still unhappy.
Miserable.
Yeah.
You still contemplating suicide, and I'm over here what you call ordinary, and I'm happier than you. I'm enjoying every breath I breathe. So welcome to the show. It's
Right.
gonna be if you're in my presence. So
That is so true.
yeah, but oh my God, Lord, y'all, we done talked up some stuff today.
Oh,
It's
wow.
already 5:50, or I'm in Central Standard Time, so it's 5:50 for me. But it's already been 50 minutes.
Wow.
50 minutes.
We done talked up some stuff today. We could go on and on, I'm sure, and we will definitely have to have Caleb back on. We have enjoyed
Please
you.
do. I can do this all day.
Oh my gosh, it was amazing. So before you go, Caleb, tell everybody, like you said, you got a project coming up. Tell everybody, if you can, what you can about the details of the project and where they can find you, because I don't see your social media handle on there for people to see. Tell everybody where they can find you.
And keep in touch.
You can actually find me at www.calebperryworld.com. That's the easiest place. Everything is right there.
I'm putting it in there now. Put it in.
Yes, please. My website. I'm so excited about this project. It is, and I've been telling my husband this, like, this is a project that I would actually listen to. Like, I love my previous music and everything, not taking away from that, but like what I rock to, this would be the sound. I'm so excited about this album. Even the writing process was completely different for me. I would have an idea and then I would study what the Bible may say about it and then write, which I typically don't do. It's more so, okay, how am I feeling? Right. Pray about it, go about that, that process. But the entire process is different for this album. The sound, to a degree, is different. I'm so excited about it. I'm like, yeah, this, if you want to know who Caleb is, this would be the project to listen to.
When is the album coming out, Caleb?
Next Friday. Pre-order begins Monday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Start pre-ordering Monday, but next Friday it will be out everywhere. Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal.
Awesome.
iHeart. Yeah, everywhere.
Love it.
That is amazing. So, oh my gosh, I'm looking forward to the music. I'm looking forward to hearing it and seeing the videos, because if y'all have not seen his videos, like, he has some amazing videos. They're thought-provoking. You know what I'm saying? Like, his videos, when you watch them, they are definitely thought-provoking. Like, you look at them and you're like, what's going on here? And then you listen to the songs. And I didn't get an opportunity to put the clips like I usually would. I was out living my life today. But yeah, if y'all get an opportunity, please check out Caleb on YouTube, on Instagram, and I put the website down there for y'all to check it out as well. Tia, do you have anything that you would like to say before we close today?
No, it's just been an absolute pleasure being able to chat with both of you, Caleb especially. I know Tyrell, so but to be able to be in this space with you today and just chat it up like we've been knowing each other for years and years and years. Love that. Love your energy. Love your spirit. So I'm excited to check out your stuff and be stalking you on social media and sharing all your stuff and listening. So I'm excited. Congratulations on the album release.
Thank you. Congratulations on the book. Oh my God.
Thank you. Thank you.
Look at that. Surrounding yourself with people who doing things. We do stuff over here.
Hello.
Yeah.
You grow where you plant your seed. That's how you'll grow.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
Exactly.
Thank you so much.
So, Caleb, thank you for coming. Tia, we will be on next week where we have another guest for Self-Discovery and Freedom for Pride Month. And everybody else, thank you all for watching the Let's Heal podcast and listening Make sure y'all, follow us, share everything. Let us know what you want to talk about. And until next time, remember to drink your water, mind your own ball-headed business.
Mind your business.
Mind your ball-headed business. So until next time, y'all, I will talk to y'all later. Thank y'all. Bye. I'm going to end that now.